the recording. Thank you. Well, we are good to go. So, but before we start in, as we share the link, reminding our friends, tagging them, I would like us to begin with an opening prayer. And I would like to invite any volunteer in the audience. If you are a volunteer and would love to just say a word of prayer in 1 or 2 minutes, or rather less than a minute, kindly raise up your hand and I will give you a green light to unmute and just say a prayer in a few seconds. Anyone? Anybody? Anyone to lead us through an opening prayer? Oh, I choose. Yes, Amos, I've seen your hand somewhere. Please unmute and say a word of prayer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Tanyore Amos, and a good evening to us all. Let's humble ourselves for the word of prayer. Our loving Father, we thank you for this opportunity that you've given us today. We thank you for this gathering, and we thank you that you've prepared our minds to receive the wisdom of today. We thank you for our speakers of today, for the knowledge that they are going to transfer to us. We thank you for your guidance, and we thank you that you're going to keep us focused to absorb all the knowledge for it to be of our advantage and to stay relevant. Thank you, Lord Father, again, and I've prayed this through our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Thank you.
Amen and amen. Thank you very much, Amos. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Can I see you clapping for him? Use those emojis, those reactive emojis, and just react. Just clap for him. And the class is very cold. What's up? Are we okay? Did you have some dinner? Please, let me see that those impressions. Just clap for us. Clap for me, your host tonight. Clap for the speaker. Clap for Amos, who has given us an opening prayer. I'd like to see you guys happy. Please relax. This is not a class with a professor somewhere with a bunch of books somewhere at the corner. Let's just celebrate. It's a time to interact. It's a time to build a community. It's a time to share knowledge. So don't be a bit shy in the background. Just keep reacting. Please share your insights on the chat box. Keep it active. Share your questions. Would love to hear your questions. Probably at the end of the session, we will be able to answer some of them. And probably something that you would like to add on the conversation. I'm very sure some of you in the audience probably might even be well conversant with the topic more than even the speaker and I, the host. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's conversation is a very interesting one, given the fact that we are discussing a topic which is trending right now, very, very impactful topic, and everyone is talking about it. And we're talking about AI, and AI is artificial intelligence. And we have all over time that for the time that AI has been evolving, we have always been portraying it as a threat. So tonight, in Career Talks, would like to, this particular editions of Career Talk, would like to really delve deeper on this conversation and see how is AI transforming the society today. And before we even get into that, I would like to let you know, for those who are new in the Career Talks, that Career Talks are hosted by Future Den, and we in Future Den, we are anchored on empowering the young people. We would like to ensure that we equip young people with the skills and knowledge that they need to thrive in the marketplace. And that is our main aim. We are looking at empowering as many as 1 million people by 2030. So yes, by the grace of God, we are heading there, and we have quite a number of initiatives, including the mentorship programs, and one of which is now the Career Talks, which we put it out there for everybody to come in and listen. It's kind of give back to the community. So it's a free of charge event, and it's open for everybody, whether you're a professional, whether you're a student, whether you are a student in high school or university, a graduate, and everybody, we encourage you to come and participate in these conversations. We often bring experts, industry captains, different people that have gone ahead of us that bring wealth of experience, just to come in and share with us. So this is such an impactful platform for you to learn. It has a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. You have brought a number of people and you have discussed quite a number of conversations, and it happens bi-weekly, every after 1 week, 2 weeks, in two times in a month. That's the first week of the month and the third week of the month. So this is the second one of the month so far. We had the one later on with before with Dr. Edwin when we talking about finances. And today we want to really explore AI. How is AI transforming the job market today? Many of us, as I've said, have been portraying AI as a threat. But you see, I just want to give you a bit of background. As human beings, I think yesterday, a few days ago, I wrote an article on AI. I just, randomly was there and I thought about it. I said, okay, and people are really portraying AI as a threat, and many of them are afraid. I was like, okay, AI will not replace human beings, but rather it will definitely be able to replace those who are not able to adapt with AI. And of course, as innate as we are, we always, afraid of change. We are always afraid of new things. And I just looked at a few, just reading and understanding and looking at how some technological um, revolutions have always sparked a bit of curiosity and fear in people. If you look at the scribes, the printing press threatened the scribes. The electricity itself was able to, you know, disrupt the candle makers, and the computer now came in and changed almost every trajectory of things. Okay, in every sector, in agriculture, in in manufacturing, in tourism, every sector almost has been disrupted by AI. But still, as flexible as we are as human beings, we're able to adapt. People were able to appreciate that. Look, computers are here to support us. The printing press is here to ease our work. The electricity is just here to make automation very easy for us. So is AI. And I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that according to the statistics, the World Economic Forum itself estimates that by 2030, AI is able to replace over 92 million jobs. For those who wrote the article, I think I put those statistics somewhere there. Is able to replace over 92 million jobs. But look, there is an advantage here. Is coming in with a net addition of 78 million jobs, making it to about 170 something million jobs. But who is going to take up these jobs? Those who are going to embrace AI, those who are going to, look, I have to go and improve on my skills in AI. I have to embrace it and start using it. And in fact, by the way, recently in the I think the AI job barometer of 2025, it was able to reflect that about 52 um, about 56% people who are using AI are earning 56% more wages than those that are not embracing AI. Of course, people are saying, oh, it's a threat to creativity, it's a threat of this and all that. But AI is here to support you. It's here to simplify your work. And it's also projected that I think by 2027, 2 years from now, 60% of the labor hours rather, of most jobs will be disrupted, triggering the shift to skill-based structures versus job positions. So they will look at skills more than actually the positions that you carry at your workplaces. So it's very important for us to embrace AI. But to help us bring more light to this conversation tonight, we have an amazing gentleman, one of the trailblazers of AI in the capital of Nairobi and Kenya at large. He's doing quite an amazing job in Kenya, especially in line with AI, and he has a wealth of experience in different AI tools. So he's going to come in and just dive deeper in how is AI able to really help us restructure or rather structure the workplace, the job market today, and how is it important for us to embrace AI and the skills of AI and probably what opportunities are available for AI. So, ladies and gentlemen, please relax. If need be, please grab a pen and a notebook as I intimated a bit earlier on. Note down something. And if there is an opportunity for you, I would like to encourage you to go and grab it. Go and grab as much as possible. If you have something that, any other opportunity to really study I would encourage you, just like the way he's going to share with us tonight. So get ready. Um, I'm going to welcome him. But before we welcome him, I understand today is his birthday. So I think let's just take 2 or 3 seconds to just celebrate him. He's a man that is so busy, sacrifices his time, and today probably on his birthday would be home just chilling with his family, going out playing golf and all those other things. So let's just celebrate him. Let me see those reactive emojis. Just react using those emojis and celebrate him. If you don't celebrate him, I'm not going to invite him. I'll just tell him to go back. So please, let's celebrate him. People on the call, just clap, just type on the chat, happy birthday, sir. Just tell him we love him. Thank you so much for sacrificing your time to just come and speak with us tonight. So he's going to take us through just a conversation in the next 45 minutes. Then we'll be able to engage him in a few questions. Then later on, we'll have a general Q&A as we are closing. So we're going to be here up to around close to 9:30. So just relax and enjoy the conversation. So I'm going to introduce himself because his CV is very long, and I'm very sure he knows how to best introduce himself. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our speaker tonight. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm very, very audible to everybody. I really appreciate for the birthday wishes. This is so great. I'm so humbled. Actually, you guys, you've done something that is really amazing. And before I even continue, let me introduce myself. I'm Samuel Kiriga. A software engineer by profession. That is what I have been doing. And I'm also the CEO of MacDosy Solutions, which is an AI-powered BPO that is IT services. We only outsource IT services in MacDosy Solutions. And I'm also the founder of Luminous Tech Brains, which is an organization that deals with training kids on digital skills from AI, coding, robotics, and cyber safety for kids. And I think it was really amazing. I think over the weekend, having a conversation with one of your colleagues who invited me and asked me to prepare a presentation on the impact of AI in job market. And so I knew today was my birthday. I just wanted to kind of relax, have some cool time here and there, and enjoy some cool drinks in the evening. But I said, at least I need to share knowledge and have it as a discussion. So I'm not really going to do it as a presentation as such. I just want it to be an open forum where you can discuss, where you have more knowledge, bring it on board so that everyone else can benefit. And where I think I've gone deep in terms of experience and what tools I've used, I'm going to share so that everyone else can benefit. And I really want to appreciate all of you for joining. That is almost 28 participants. This is really great. I believe you have your own commitments also, but you've taken the time to join this conversation to be part of this change that is happening, especially in the technology or in the tech world, and hoping that today's session is going to be really, really beneficial. You're going to learn, you're going to see maybe things from another perspective. You're going to share experiences and knowledge that we have, and also whatever you have from your end. And I want to go straight. Let me share my screen. I've made some presentation that's going to guide us through, not really to read it through it, but to guide us through it so that as we have this conversation, we have something to really guide us along. So allow me to share my screen and you let me know just a minute. So you can see I want to share the other screen because I have two screens here. Second. And now we can share this. So I want you to let me know when the screen is visible from the end. Someone can say, yes, you can see it.
Yes, we can see, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. So this is a conversation we're going to have. AI in the job market, the future of work. Where is AI taking us? And let's first try to see ilianza wapi. This is in Swahili, we mean where did it all start? And it started way back, even before 2022, when ChatGPT was first announced. And it was something that has been cooking uh, time by time. And eventually, it got to the public first, where now we had the first ChatGPT version where we could interact with it. But since then, it has really changed. It has really reshaped even how we now currently do work in our offices, be it in corporate, whether we are teachers, whether we are farmers, whether whichever career that we are, we realize that now we are using AI more, even when it comes to proposal writing, for example, email writing, for example, and other stuffs. And so it has really reshaped how we do our jobs and our skills in general. Maybe you had no idea of AI, but now since it's being spoken all over, you have to kind of go and dig, find out what is this AI thing, what is it doing, why is it so popular, why does it matter, and especially right now. And also try to see in the future what things or how will things look like? Are there jobs that are going to be replaced? Are there people who are going to replace them in? Or what kind of new jobs are coming? What do we need to do? What do we need to learn to keep uh, at pace with the changes that are happening? And so I want us to take it, um, to face it the way it is, to see things the way things. And I want to relate this, give an example. When electricity first came, uh, people thought of it as something that is going to disrupt in a negative way, but they didn't see there's so many opportunities that came up with the electricity. Nowadays we have electrical engineering, which is a whole new thing. And electricity came, and I think there are so many jobs and companies had to shut down. For example, those who were producing pressure lamps, they had to shut down so that they can give way to this new wave of electricity. And new things were introduced, new jobs came up, and people realized how important this thing was. And now you cannot imagine your life or your day without electricity. So I want us to take the same sort of view when you're trying to see how AI is changing, things that are going to be affected, and not in a negative way, but also try to see which is trying to see the positive side of AI and how things are going to be kind of like. And so it's going to be much faster than we thought. For just 22 years ago, that is 22, it's when the first AI chatbot was released. Now it's only 2 years old. But you can see already their careers which were very, very stable long time ago. Careers that will take you maybe 10 years, 20 years until retirement. And they were seen to be like the best of the best. And during that time, every parent will want either their kid to do that or to kind of specialize in those areas. But today is completely different. AI has disrupted a lot of things. There are careers that are going to last for only 5 years and they are gone. Some will last even for as short as 2 years because things like maybe accounting, for example, or anything to do with arithmetic, AI will take it and do it much faster than we used to do. And now that we have the system that are kind of systemized according to what human beings will do, now imagine how AI can do it even much faster. But all is not lost at the same time. Even as much as there's all these changes, we shouldn't view it as a threat. Rather, we need to see it as a powerful tool that we can use it to innovate, can use it to grow our skills and thinking and reasoning, can even use it to build a more sustainable careers in the future. Things like creative thinking that can never be taken away by AI. The art, for example, storytelling, for example, those are things that AI can never take from us, but we can use AI to kind of supplement or help us to create stories and retain our ability as human beings to tell the stories. So in this era, AI has both. It has the positive side of it and it has the negative side of it. And today I want to dwell on the on both, but I will focus more on the positive side of it. And later on, as we finish up our presentation, we'll see what is the negative side of it and what can we do as we continue to interact with this thing. So why does it matter? Why AI matters right now, especially more than ever? And it's reshaping how industries used to work, the workflows. Nowadays, for example, you can give example that is personally I'm doing. I use AI to kind of simplify my workflow in terms of emailing. For example, if you email me today at MacDosy Solutions inquiring for any service, I'm not going to respond to you immediately, or rather, uh, AI will respond to you in terms of the services we offer, where we are located, and even schedule and book an interview or consultation with you. So I'll only get a feedback that is in now my email that next week on Tuesday, someone has booked a consultation meeting with you. And all this happens because AI is giving us that power to automate our workflows, to be able to make our work much, much easier. And also try to change how traditional work used to be. A very good example, people used to have what we call personal assistant. Nowadays has changed to virtual assistant that you don't need to be in someone's office to be able to be his or her assistant. And as a virtual assistant, for instance, you can able to use AI tools to even record meetings when you're not in that meeting. And those tools can be able to take the minutes, can able to take the recordings, can able to take the summary of the meeting. And when you come back later on, you now have a virtual assistant able to see what happened in the meeting, compile the summary, and give your boss. So you can see how traditionally things used to happen and how AI has changed it is quite different. And that's the reason, one of the reasons why AI matters now and than ever. And it's coming with, of course, it's very, very good opportunities. I will really agree with that one. And the challenges is there are going to be some job displacement. Already right now, if you are a developer, for instance, you can see you can use it to write code. So try to think of it in the next 5 or 10 years. It means that most developers will be AI powered. And that means if you are just a developer who is writing code without using AI, you're going to be absolute. So you can see that is something that is going to be taken away. And then when it comes to the skill gap, what skills do you need to learn? Where are you going to get these skills in terms of what are the resources that you need to get for you to be able to learn? Sometimes you just need to be curious enough as a person to understand what is happening in the tech world, what can I do, and where can I get this resources? And I really appreciate, by the way, having this forum, and you're really doing a great thing because this is where it starts. Someone coming and sharing something, it sparks some curiosity for you or in you. So now you can go and research more. You can go and find out, hey, this guy was talking about ChatGPT can do ABCD. Let me try to see how that one goes. So that one's going to help us cover up the gap, of course. And then uh, for those who are starting up some sort of new careers or trying or are still in school or are still trying to figure out where they're going to fit in the society, should they go with AI? Should they still retain going the manual way? I think I can call it the manual way because AI is going to be automatic way. Of course, you will have that conflict with yourself, but ask yourself, is AI here to stay or it's here like in other ways? And once you get the answer, you'll know where to position yourself. And AI is here to stay. That's why it really matters. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. And even instead of even going, it's advancing. So that means that tells you you need to be at par with what is happening. I had a session today with one of my students early in the morning, and he was sharing with me how he does all his assignments, and he's still, I think, in grade 6 and grade 5 with AI. And I was asking him, who taught you all these things? And he said, sometimes I just Google, sometimes I just ask my parents, sometimes I ask teachers. And so it was really inspiring to me that someone as young as he is already understands that this is the position that he needs to take, and there's no any other way. And he understands that he's not using AI to replace or kind of reduce his reasoning or his thinking. He's rather using it to amplify or to make his work much easier. And instead of spending so much time on maybe going through a lot of websites or tools to read, there's already a summarized way to handle that. So it matters in that way if you can view it from that perspective that yes, the opportunities are coming with it. There's some also challenges in terms of job displacement. There will be skill gaps that we need to cover, and these opportunities are going to be way more than the challenges. And even if you view it from the part on negative side and say maybe job displacement or anything to do with skill gaps, how long is it going to take you to learn like only one tool that you can use it so well and start to create something from it? So we're going to explore that together as well. So I want to understand AI in the workplace. What really happened? And with the concrete examples from what I have experienced, from what I have done before, or from what I can see happening around the globe. So the very number one is automation of anything that is going to be a routine task. A very good example is when you get into a call center. Call center is where you handle call services either on behalf of a company or maybe customer service on behalf of a company, or you, a company, for example, a company can have like a dedicated department where it handles all its customer queries, where they make calls, either inbound calls or outbound calls. And being in a BPO industry, what I've seen so far is you can automate calls, you can automate responses to clients who are calling to get queries. And this is something that used to be so much in terms of a routine. It can used to be done over and over and over and over again. So in Kenya, give an example, we have one of our very big telecommunication companies called Safaricom. And what happens there is they get so many calls every day regarding customer queries. And they have gone way, way far using these tools to automate the simple answers. For example, a customer calling, inquiring for either unblocking of their SIM card that they blocked by mistake. They have now automated that process because it's going to be the same process, the same procedure to all the clients who have the same issue. So they have automated it, made it what you call an AI uh, voice voice call, so that whoever calls at any given time, be it during the day or at night, they're going to get the same service. And this is something that used to be done manually. So you can see how things are changing. And so if you are maybe trying to see an opportunity in that area, is we're trying to see what did you do manually. For example, if you're in workplace, you every month you have to invoice your clients. Is there a way that you can automate invoicing every single month? If you're doing email marketing, how can we use AI to automate that process? For example, if you're in content creation, you maybe content creation, how do you use AI to create content that you use to create every day manually? If you're doing social media management, nowadays there are so many tools that you can use. For example, there's a buffer is a tool that can use to automate posting on different channels at the same time without having to visit every account that you have to post on it. So that is one way of automating the manual task that we use to every single day. Another thing is on enhanced decision making. Um, I think a lot of you agree with me for those who use AI, and if you don't, I think we need to have another discussion with you that 80% of the simple things that you think of and you want clarity, nowadays you go to ask or seek clarity from ChatGPT. What does that mean? Assuming you have a business idea and you want to come up with a prototype very, very quickly, maybe to showcase, maybe you have potential investors or just have a group of people that you want to discuss and see how they can advise you. You can give ChatGPT a very good prompt with that idea, and it will come up with a prototype of whatever you want to build. And that is what we're calling enhanced decision making. That before you even figure it out in a week or 2 weeks, already you have a tool that is going to amplify your decision making within hours. And that is another very, very big plus of AI. I use it every single day when we get inquiries about software development, very, very complex in terms of systems. We try to think how are we going to break this one down so that we can communicate the requirements to the client and also be our guide when it comes to development area. And it helps us in that area. Then workforce transformation. What is happening, for example, if you used to have an office with a personal assistant, I think I had that example before. Now you don't need, or if at all you need them, they don't need to be in the office. They can work from wherever they need to, because there are tools that you can use to either record the meetings, to keep track of what is happening, or even to understand the workflows of your systems and try to transform them in a more automated way rather than doing them manually. And once we get this in the right way, once we understand that with AI you can automate everything that is very, very manual, that is a very big plus. You can use it to enhance your decision making. And I have something here that is very, very fruitful at the same time. And when it comes to decision making with AI, don't confuse this one with over relying on AI. There's a very big difference there. Don't use AI to kind of confirm everything that you want to Google, that AI is going to be your first thing. Yes, use AI, but try to compare with other resources that are available. Try to see what, if you're using ChatGPT, for example, try to see what will Gemini say about the same. What will things like maybe Cloud AI, what will it say about the same thing? So that you don't get a biased answer or response. And remember that these tools are developed or are trained, or this model, call them LLMs, are trained using the Western context. So we don't have an African context yet, and this is what African nations are trying to really dig down to understand how they can train models that are African context based. I think for those who were able to attend or go through what was happening in Kigali, that is Rwanda, this early this year, they're able to listen what the African is doing in terms of training AI or LLMs that are going to the African context. For example, in Uganda, can you use the one of your languages, that is Ugandan languages, to ask questions, to ask AI and give you feedback. For example, here in Kenya, we love Swahili. Is there an AI that understands Swahili? Is there an AI that understands our African culture so that we can interact with it from our own context? And so we are still not yet there in terms of AI advancement, especially in Africa. And that's the reason why there's a caution that wherever you are seeking anything from AI, try to understand from which context is giving you the feedback. Are there other resources that you can use so that you don't end up thinking that you're enhancing your decision making, and in real sense you're really trying to get a biased response, which you may end up maybe facing tough question, especially if you are doing a pitch and you only are focused in one area. So that's a thing to have a look at. So I've talked about automation and job transformation, which is currently happening. Every monotonous job, every job that is really manual and repetitive, we do it every day. A very good example is what we do is invoicing. We automate all invoicing processes or procedures within our company. There's another thing that is happening, maybe for those who are either looking to work in the banking sector. There's a proposal, and this is actually coming up very, very soon in the banking sector, mainly in Kenya, but it will also definitely going to go around that. For those who are in accounting, you understand the process of financial reconciliation, which is basically trying to go through one document, maybe the cash book and what the banking statement is saying, and try to reconcile the statements. So this is another very big transformation that is coming in this sector, that many people will end up either losing the jobs or find something that is going to be a bit more critical or human engaging than this, because it's an area that employs hundreds of accountants in the banking sector. But imagine a tool that is going to automate all that process. Where are all these people going to be? And it's not a threat, actually. There's another area that's coming. This is where things like AI engineering is coming. This is where like things like critical thinking is coming, because at the end of the day, it will yes do the automation, but it needs, or they need to be a person, a human in the loop. We call it a human in the loop, to counter check what AI is doing. And that is the recommendation that is given even by the producers or the creators of this LLM, that they need to be a human in the loop. And the question is, will you be that human in the loop, that you've understood this tool very well enough? You get how it does its work, and you're able to counter check that indeed whatever is doing is correct and as per the maybe requirements of your company, because you understand the tool, how it's doing, and you also understand what the company requirements are. So if you combine them together, you're going to be a super human being. So that is a blend of human and AI together. You can imagine what kind of a person you can be. And I want to talk these new jobs that are coming, and how can we learn these things? Where are we going to get them? The number one is data and innovation. That is, when it comes to AI, we talk about automating or trying to change anything, for example, there must be two things. There must be data because AI is mainly, actually is 100% data. For you to see to get the result that you're getting, maybe when you use ChatGPT, for instance, give an example, is that ChatGPT has been trained on a massive, huge amount of data that it understands the patterns so that it can able to predict the next thing when asked about the same thing. So if asked it about football, it has been trained on so much huge data about football that it can tell you so much things about football just because it has current data and it picks the pattern. And through that pattern, it's able now to give you or predict the response that you need. And most of the time, that's why we find it. If you ask it the same question two times, it's going to give you two different answers. It may have the same context, yes, but in terms of how it has put it down, it's different. It's because of its training. And so data comes with another type of work. This is where we have data analysis comes in. Someone who can analyze data and come up with really good conclusion. Someone who can understand, like, we need this data to train AI so that it can give us A, B, and C. That's a new opportunity coming up with it. And then also have machine learning. What is basically machine learning? Is uh, the engineers who now are going to give these tools lots of this data so that it can able to learn on itself, train it so that it can able to now keep on training and improving on itself. Because what happens is that when you're training these tools, you're giving it data, huge amounts of data, and behind the scenes, this data, you're going to use it as a base of training it. And there's a lot that happens there. There's a lot that deals with the handling it. For example, for those who now goes deep into understanding the programming behind it, where Python comes in, where machine learning comes in, it all goes in making AI what it is today. And then have a lot when it comes to also cybersecurity. There's another very big opportunity that is coming in here. And I'll give you a very good example. With AI advancement, they're going to be very more sophisticated cyber attacks more than ever. Because it means a guy who understands how AI works can able to use AI to come up with more sophisticated cyber attacks. So your position is to understand how AI works really well so that we can counter attack the cyber attacks or the hackers because they're also going to use AI. Don't think that these guys are not also not going to use these tools. They have to use it. They have to improve because from their end, that is a career on their own. Hacking anyone's system and asking you to give them a good amount of money for them to be able to release the system. That is a career from their end. Even as much as it's really negative, and of course that's why it's not encouraged at all. But for us to be able to counter attack them, also know how to understand a tool. They say if you want to catch a thief, you have to think like a thief. So if at all you're going to be a cyber analyst who is able to hack uh, what these attackers are doing, then you also have to understand their their tricks. And one of them is going to be AI. A very good example of a scenario that we are witnessing a few weeks ago is what we call deep fakes, where now AI can fake for example, now you're able to see my photo there. So AI can take that photo and make it live. What I mean is make it start speaking a language that I don't understand or giving instruction I don't understand. That is deep faking. And if you're not careful enough for this, and you may think that is actual someone saying something, but in the real sense, he's not. So assuming maybe you are given this one, maybe someone tells you your boss was saying ABCD, and only to realize that this was a lie. And your job as a cyber security analyst is to able to identify, could this be true or false? Because now everything in the internet, you must question it. Is it true or false? We always have three rules to ask ourselves. Where is the resource? Or okay, where did it came from? Or who created this? Is there any other sources that are talking about the same thing? And what time was this created? Another area also is phishing. Sometimes we understand either employees at our companies, we do receive some phishing emails that ask you to click on certain links there to go and either reset your password or do whatever you're asked to do, only to realize that you're giving away some credential for the company that you're never supposed to. So with this one, it means now so many phishing attacks can happen because if you can use AI to create some really good phishing email messages that by the time you as an employee you realize you've already fallen into that trap. So as a cyber analyst, security analyst, how are you able to identify these things as soon as possible before even the employees get in that area? So that is another area to have a look at. And also, you have another one in there, the robotics, for example. This is a field that is really growing because now use AI to develop really, really good code that can give robots instruction. If you go to huge factories, you'll find so many robots there that have been given instruction in manufacturing of things, maybe. And how do you get that job done? Is understanding how these tools work, for example. And then we have like what we're doing, trying to educate people. That's another really good area. What you learn so that you can teach or share that knowledge with other people, understand how things work, and then able to share that knowledge. Another area, very good opportunity that is there. And then also digital transformation, of course, and also another thing is just the combination of both, able to understand how machine works and then play your role as a human being and then be the center there. That's another good opportunity. So I had to summarize them into critical thinking, an area that we cannot afford to lose as human beings, because everything that comes that claims to be from AI, you have to be a critical thinker to discern it so well and able to understand that this is actually real and this is AI generated, so that you don't fall in the trap of thinking that this email comes from your boss and in real sense it comes from an attack. So you have to understand that as well. And if you able to harness or to really train yourself in that area, you're able to create opportunity for yourself because uh, companies now will be hiring not just someone who can do a job, but someone who can critically think on what is happening. And then on problem solving, the same thing. AI can handle really, really complex uh, maths, for example, but that is when you've already analyzed what you want and then ask it how to do it. And your job here is to be able to break down a problem into smaller chunks that AI can pick up and get it done. So you as a person is to understand the why your boss is saying this and this, why you need to accomplish this, why you need to do A, B, C, and D. And then once you understand the why, that is the problem solving aspect of it, the I can help you with the how, because you already know what you want to do and why you want to do it. And now, instead of you spending so much time doing it, we have a tool here that can help you to get that job done. And that is the how it's coming in. Then we also have digital literacy. You have to understand what is happening. Like, for example, any changes in the tech industry, what is new, what is coming, what is trending, what is how is AI affecting, for example, in the tech, in the education? What is the impact of AI in the education? What is the impact of AI in agriculture, for instance? How can I use AI in making things, for example, in the insurance, for example, work. So just having that literacy of AI it's going to give you a leverage, because you may find yourself having conversation. For example, last week we were having a conversation in someone in agriculture, and we're trying to engage how they are using AI to predict weather patterns so that they can give farmers information enough, telling them this is the crop we need to plant this season because of what we are expecting in terms of rainfall patterns in this case. And the conversation went deep and deep and deep to realize even there are so many problems that AI can solve. But if you don't have that knowledge that you can converse with people in different areas regarding the same tool, that is sharpening your thinking, your reasoning, and try to see how can you use the same tool in all aspects of life to solve it, can really limit you opportunities, can really limit you some really good jobs. So that is another area that you can really have a look at. And then adaptability, of course. This one has already been talked about. Like, you really need to learn how to learn, to relearn, and to unlearn some things. Otherwise, you're going to remain the same way. The only way to adapt, that's why we have that concept to say survival for the fittest. The only way to adapt here is if there are things that you need to unlearn, then you have to unlearn them so that you relearn something new, or unlearn them and learn something new, for instance. And this is all in all aspects. If you used to do a lot of manual work, for example, now your boss cannot ask you to do a whole sort of maybe proposal writing, and you want to sit down and start writing it with your pen, page after page after page. You're going to take maybe 2 weeks, for example. But you can come up with a very good prompt, for example, break it so well that AI can understand what you have to build, or what you want to come up with, and give it. And it's going to break down everything for you in even much more detail. And now your job is counter check and try to confirm that whatever it's giving you is the right thing that you expect. And this is an area that is going to remain and continue improving every single day, because everyone is going to use this one in school, in workplaces, and just in other areas. And one thing also that we need to now have, and we can never afford to lose, is our emotional intelligence, because AI is not going to be empathic or empathetic with anyone, or that now we call it the human in the loop. It means there has to be some empathy when dealing with people. And a very good example is when we are trying to automate the call center services. There is always a human aspect in that automation, such that if things get to be so hot, and the client needs someone who understands them. That's where now the issue is escalated to a human agent. But initially, they're being handled by an AI agent, so that a human agent is able to understand the emotional aspect of the client, that is being empathic with them, understand how they're feeling, resolve their issues from that area, and not just being logical, because AI is much of being logical, even as much as they're trying to be really going that area to be emotional, to give emotional kind of sentiments, but you may not feel it. But when interacting with someone who is able to kind of express it to you, either through having live conversation, it's an area that AI cannot take in this case. And then I think to talk about uh, the pathways, how we're going to remain relevant, how we're going to make sure that we need these skills. We either need to upskill, either need to reskill, or attend workshops like whatever we are having today. It's a very good conversation that we're having, that we need to remain relevant, that in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, we are still going to remain as relevant as we used to. Not saying that I came and took away my job. Yes, it may take away your job, but what will you be doing? After now it has taken away your job, what new thing would you be learning or relearning so that you're able to keep up with it? And there are so many opportunities. We are even having a discussion, I think, over the weekend also. what are the new opportunities that can really use AI. And one of them is the content creation aspect of it. You can create content very, very fast now using AI more than ever before. You can also do digital marketing. Every business, for example, every company, every either small or big company, they always have a budget for digital marketing. And if you understand how this thing work and how you can do digital marketing for companies, then you win yourself a very huge opportunity in that area. We also talk about social media management. We have people who help us on managing our social media accounts, for example. And this is someone who understands, number one, how they're going to make use of these tools. For example, you have Canva. You can make use of Canva to come up with really, really good graphic designs, and then use a tool like Buffer, for instance, to be able to schedule your content across different platforms without you worrying about, I have to go to TikTok and post this, I have to go to Facebook and do the same, I have to go to LinkedIn and do the same. So if you position yourself now as a really good social media manager, it means you can handle even 5 clients at a go, because they're using these tools which are making your work so easy, very, very efficient, that you never feel you're overwhelming yourself. And that is a plus for you, because that means you're creating income, you're getting more money in the same case. Then have SEO, that is search engine optimization for the web developers. Those even who are not web developers understand that company need to have a really, really good search engine optimization. So for it to stand out, for it to be able to be ranked, maybe top, maybe top 10 when it comes to best companies doing whatever they're doing. And someone needs to be a specialized in this. And nowadays, there's search engine optimization, and there's also AI engine optimization, that you have to combine both what Google is going to give you and what AI is going to give you. Make that web page or that website for the company you're working for be ranked as one of the top maybe companies in terms of the services that they are providing. Virtual assistant, we've talked about it. It's a very good area that you can come up even with your own agency, that instead of being hired as a personal assistant, you can understand how virtual assistant works and try to bridge that gap. Because with these tools, for example, I mentioned, there are tools that you can use to record meetings. If you are to attend a meeting on behalf of your boss, you can attend the meeting and have this tool join the meeting just as you, that is going to record the meeting, can summarize it, and can take minutes for you. So that means once that meeting is done, you're not going to spend so much time try to see in terms of your minutes how much you have to write, try to remember what was being said in the meeting and things like that. You can focus, be very, very productive in the meeting, knowing that there's a tool that is taking notes, there's a tool that is recording, that I can go and just ask it later on, or try to retrieve whatever it was trying to do. And this means now to join or to handle even 3 clients in a single day. Because if you're able to do that, if you're able to get all that done, your work is only to manage your time and to have like really, really proper schedules that are working. And then also have uh, automating business processes. This is an area that I really, really love. We really do this a lot, like invoicing, emailing, workflows. Maybe you want to do a whole marketing workflow, a whole sales workflow. We do that. And it's so easy. There are so many tools that can help you to do all this. Make sure that instead of doing the processes as we used to do manually, you're able to get this done in a more automatic way using these tools to make your work so much easy. And with this, I believe these are areas that we can tap and try to see what opportunities are here and try to build on top of this, or learn something new, or upskill anything that we feel that here we need to polish up in terms of skills that we have. And then I think whatever we talked about now, we want to see these tools maybe in practical, maybe try to explain how each tool is working. For example, when we talk about ChatGPT, for instance, it's more of having a conversational AI model that you can ask it a question and it will give you a response, like having a conversation, me and you. And you can use this one sometimes when you're trying to sort of brainstorm, or try to sort of break down an idea that you really not yet figured it out well, but you can use this tool to help you figure out what you want or summarized sort of information, coming up with drafts, maybe email drafts, for example, proposal drafts, for example, or answering some really basic questions. A very good tool. We also have another one, Gemini, for example. I use it a lot. But in fact, this one is very good when you try to do research, for example. It can do a really, really good research for you. We have cloud for the developers in the room, those guys who love coding a lot. Sometimes don't need to really think about some really simple things. Just have to go and ask this tool, how do I make this page look good? How do I make this page be more responsive, mobile responsive or tablet responsive? So these are things that, of course, you're able to do it, but it will take you maybe 2 hours or 3 hours to do this thing to make a website be mobile responsive, tablet responsive, and laptop responsive. It may take 2 to 3 hours to get it done. But asking a tool like Cloud AI, it's just seconds, few seconds, maybe at most three or 1 minute, for example, and you have a website well responsive, both mobile, tablet, and desktop. And if you had a task that had been assigned, for example, at work, to do that as a software engineer, you see, you already uh, done it within a short period of time, and the remaining time can take it, you can use it maybe to kind of think on how best you can improve the website. How can you make it more appealing? How can you add something that is even was not requested, but it's now an add-on, for example? A very big plus for those who are in that area. Then also have another one, we call it Perplexity. It's a very amazing tool. I really love this one. This one is, we call it an answer engine. Like it just gives you whatever you ask it. If you ask it A, B, C, D, it's give you the exact response and it'll take you to the exact site where it took that information. So these are tools that you can never afford to kind of not understand how they are, because they're going to make your work so much. And then you have Notion AI. This one can help it. For example, you're a student or for guys who go on meetings outside the office and sometimes need to organize your notes. You have so many documents and data that you need to kind of organize them so well so that if you ask tomorrow by your boss, you're able to retrieve them in a very good way and submit them. You can use this too. It really comes in when you're that kind of a person who needs things to be organized, so many documents that need to be organized, and a lot of data. And then also have we have Notion and we have Motion. So of course, I will let you have this. This one is an AI powered calendar. So for example, you have so many meetings in instance. You have so many clients who are booking a lot of meetings, or your boss, in this case, you're a virtual assistant, and your boss has a lot of meetings. You can use this one, it's a AI-powered calendar, to kind of manage your meetings, prioritize the task, for example, or try to see what comes first and why, for instance. So it's a very good plus in that area. And then we have this one called the Fireflies.ai or Otter.ai. I was saying about virtual assistants who will get in a meeting and instead of spending so much time try to take minutes and try to see what's happening in terms of manually doing it, they can use this one because it's going to record the meeting, it's going to take the short notes or summarize the meeting, and then immediately after the meeting it will give you a feedback or a summary of how the meeting was, what happened, who was saying what, and then your work now is to compile that and submit it to your boss. It's a very good tool, both of them that you can use. And then you have job scan. I love this one. So imagine you're searching for a job, but you have to graduate and don't know where to start. You have your CV well written. You can use this one because it's going to scan all jobs that match your CV and it gives you option. It can tell you, okay, you can apply for this one. It seems like a good match for you. You can apply for this one. Seems to be a good match for you. So instead of just trying to look for so many uh, job ads, for example, and job adverts, you can use this tool to make your life a bit easy. Same applies to LinkedIn Career Explorer. It does the same thing what job scam does. When we talk about Jasper, this is for people who love to create content, either Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and sometimes you're just lazy, don't know what to do. You can just give it a prompt and it will give you content specific for the platform. So if you ask it, I want a LinkedIn content, it knows LinkedIn is very professional. So it's going to give you content that fits that platform. And you ask it to give it a TikTok, for example, content, it understands how TikTok works. So it's going to give you content based on that platform that you're asking. Canva is one of the things that we normally use almost every day, coming up with really good graphic designs. Sometimes you're being asked to create something that can be used maybe as a poster or something at work, or you as a person you decide to become sorry a graphic designer. Canva is one of the easiest way to start learning before you go on things like more advanced tools. And nowadays, with the use of AI, it gives you even much more flexibility in terms of what they have already. Uh, Ready-made templates where you can just make use of them instead of you just trying to redesign everything from scratch. And it's a very good area you can use. Everyone wants the graphic design. It's an area that can never be replaced really 100% by AI because sometimes it needs a lot of creativity. And so you can make use of it to handle that. And then we call it the DAL E or mid journey. This is if you have a lot of, in terms of creativity that is in your head and you want to think of something that can help you generate images, for example, based on what you are thinking. Maybe you're a scientist, you want to share explorer, you can ask it to generate some images on exploring the space, things like that. Just boost your creativity and sometimes to help you explain concept. They say an image is worth sometimes 1,000 words. So you can use it to come up with those images. And if maybe you're a teacher now, it makes even your work easy because kids try to relate more when it comes to images than giving them a whole text. And then for also people who are doing content creation, you can use now this script. If now you've taken a video, you're outside there taking a video, trying to have that video, you can use this tool to edit it or to make sure that it fits as per the platform. Maybe you wanted a video specific for LinkedIn, for instance. You can make that using the script tool. A very good area that can really assist. And then the last thing we want to talk about is human and AI. This is the most amazing part that I love about combining the power of human beings and the power of AI and see what can we create with these two. So when you bring AI and human beings together, whatever we're having is a very strong thing because AI comes with its power to process huge amounts of data, understand the patterns based on the data that you're giving it. And it can able to predict the future, able to predict in terms of weather patterns, able to predict how job market is going to change, able to predict the stock market, how it's going to behave, able to predict the financial analysis, especially for companies and so on and so forth. And we as human beings, there is a part that we need to play. One is creativity. Now, even as much as we're having AI doing all these amazing things for us, how creative can we be to keep with that pace? Because sometimes for AI to give us some really good things, then us as human beings, we need to think really creatively so that we can prompt AI based on our imagination. And that is a very good power that comes in with this. And then you talk about empathy. AI can tell you sorry and just understand. There's a voice that can tell you sorry, but having that conversation with a fellow human being, trying to read the energy, to read the emotions, is way, way much better than asking AI to give you a sorry message because you had a heartbreak the other week. That one is totally different. But having a friend who is able to understand this, uh, try to explain to them what you're going through, trying to imagine the situation that you are in is way better, really way better. And that's the reason why in every automation, there is a human in the loop. The reason of a human in the loop is to come in as empathetic, I think, or to really try to bridge that gap of logical, social logical, and lack of emotional part of it. And then there is ethical judgment. This is an issue that really try to I think the most countries, or especially in Africa, try to see how they can handle it, because you can use AI in a very bad way. You can use AI in a very very bad way. You can use AI to create code that can uh, can hack a system, for example, things like that. And are there any rules or guardrails, for example, that can be used to make sure that AI is going to be used in a more ethical manner rather than used in a bad way? Then another big part is strategic thinking. Now we'll be moving from doing things to more of strategic planning, strategic thinking, having those big plans, strategies. This is going to be our next thing to handle, because AI will be doing the manual work. So we don't need to waste our energy on that, but now we can spend our time to think strategically, to plan strategically, and how we can collaborate with maybe with other firms, boost performance in terms of work, and also generally improve our problem solving skills as human beings. And I think we've of course we handled this. That is the ethical and social challenges that AI can come with. Job displacement, we talk about it. Talked about accountability, that we need to be accountable with our use of AI. We really need it. It's a tool that is going to make our work so much easy. But at the same time, we need to be accountable so that we can use it in a more ethical way. Never use yeah, this tool to kind of try to hack or try to create malicious code or produce some unwanted content that can either be harmful, for example, or anything that is going to cause any sort of issues in society. Of course, we want to have a very humble society where we can grow our skills using tools in a good way, and not to damage or cause danger in any way that to be not good. Job displacement, these are obvious things happening, but we've already talked about the other thing that is coming. Even after your job feels like it's going to be displaced, then there is a fallback. There is something that you can learn. There's something that you can, there's a skill that you can always upskill yourself and be relevant in the market at the same time. And then of course, I really appreciate. I think this is the end of my conversation, and I want to open this to have like a one-on-one terms of engagement. Tell us how your experiences are with AI, what so far you've experienced, what uh, anything that you have that you can share together. Yes.
Oh, wow. Somebody say awesome. Guys, I am flabbergasted, extremely astonished at this. I actually thought I knew a little bit of AI, but after today's session, I think I just need to go back to class. Well, for some of you who did history, Luganda, Lusoga, Luchiga, please, like me, the terminologies, that's not a problem. Um, when you talked about fishing, I started thinking of where the lake is. However, yeah, we are evolving. We are
I
evolving. Thank you
understand.
so much, Mr. Samuel. We really appreciate this insightful conversation. The tools were really very timely. I believe all of us need to get to know some of this, and really, this perspective, it has really shifted. We have understood where we need to do more, and also be able
Mhm.
to emphasize and
Yeah,
utilize leverage on the tools that are available in the market. I believe some
yeah.
of us have been struggling with a lot
Uh-huh.
of things, but here are the tools. I actually knew about ChatGPT only, but now you talked about quite a number of them that I need to go back to class and really study more and see how I'm going to utilize them. Otherwise, thank you very much. We have a couple of questions. The chat is
Yes,
burning. People are very
yes, yes.
excited,
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very excited. Quite a range of questions that are coming in there. So we'll be able to ask a few of them, and also
Uh-huh.
give people an opportunity to raise up some of the questions that they have verbally,
Yeah, true.
and of course maybe
Uh-huh.
complement or share some knowledge in that regard. However, you talked
Okay.
about social media management, and you highlighted,
Yes, yes.
you intimated on something that you can actually use a one tool, AI tool, to be able to
Yeah.
manage all the social media platforms. Would you mind highlighting on that a bit?
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah, thank you. So, assuming, let me just give it a whole workflow so that you can pick it so well. You're a social media manager and you've been tasked to create posts, for example, that you need to post, I mean, the post, for example, the one that was been used for this event, and you've been asked, or you need to have that post on number one, LinkedIn, number two, Facebook, number three, TikTok, and then Instagram, and then Twitter or X. So those are five platforms. And you see, for a company, sometimes, most of the time, we need to have that sort of uniformity in terms of what someone can see in LinkedIn, they need to see the same thing when they go to Facebook. And you have to schedule when you're doing social media management, you will have to need a schedule. For example, you'll be posting on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is 3 times a week. And what you can do, you can even create your content early enough. For example, you can create your content even this month. For example, you can spend the whole of this month creating content for the whole of the next month or up to December. And then once you identify which content needs to go each day, you go now and use this tool called Buffer. There are quite a number of them, but I will always prefer Buffer because we use Buffer. It gives you opportunity to link five accounts, or sometimes even more than five accounts, and then schedule when you need that content to be released. So, for example, today is on Wednesday, and you need your content to be released on Friday. You can schedule it today, and on Friday, exactly maybe at 10 a.m. in the morning, all your social media accounts will have that post. So if you are doing it as a business, for example, not as an employer to talk from that perspective, where you have like so many clients that you're trying to manage the social media account, then it's going to be very easy for you because you don't need to keep on jumping from one account to another, posting the same content. You have a tool that understands that this content for today is going to Facebook, LinkedIn, uh, Twitter, and all those, and the content has to go at exactly by 10 a.m. in the morning, for example. It's going to make your work so much easy that you can handle so many things at the same time without realizing. And people will be asking, "Hey, how are you able to manage all these accounts if you're doing it alone?" But these are tools behind the scenes. And now you can tell them, "Hey, this tool can be ABCD. Can use maybe for content creation. Use this tool for ABCD. Use this one for scheduling. Use Buffer, things like that." I hope I've answered that question.
Yes, you have answered it very, very well, and I would kindly request you to type the spelling of the tool. I told you some of us did
Oversight.
history, Luganda, Lusoga, Luchiga, so we'll need to understand more on that. So I would like
Yes,
to give an opportunity
buffer.ai.
to, well, thank you very much. It's the buffer, I know, the English, the one in literature. Thank you.
Yes.
I have two people raising up their hands before we get back to the chat, and I would like to give each of them 1 minute to raise up what they would like to, and I would like to begin with Dr. Dan Muzinguzi. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Samuel, for those insightful observations. I strongly agree with you that the AI is the future. I recently made a very simple comment, and people were almost killing me. I said, if you're a professional and you are not using AI at the moment, start packing your bags because you are going to be terminated tomorrow and you will not know how you'll be terminated and it will be terrible. Now,
Yes.
I would like to go back to especially our young people.
Yeah.
They are still taking AI very, very casually, very, very light as something that will pass very soon. But
Yes.
actually, AI is very deep, and we may not know how deep AI is and how it's going to transform different economies, not until we get our heads into a number of documents. For example, national AI strategic documents or policies for different countries. I've read
Absolutely.
about 20 different national AI strategies, for example, for Kenya, Rwanda, Egypt, South Africa, Mauritius, UK, US, and Qatar. Man, where we are going, it's only those people with AI skills that will survive. So what's the point here? If you are here and you've been thinking AI is ChatGPT, you are very wrong. You need to wake up today and start investing a lot of time in first understanding where your country is going and even where surrounding countries are going, because you'll be left behind and you'll not able to find us. We will be there. They are very, very far. And another thing for all people who are here, get your hands on 2 documents by UNESCO on AI. One is called AI Competence Framework for teachers and also AI Competence Framework for students. Now, we are all teachers, we are all students. Not until we get to understand these documents, AI will just remain like ChatGPT, but actually there is something very, very deep. Just to finalize, the tools you recommended, I mean, you mentioned those are very great tools. I use Perplexity myself. It's amazing. Another tool that I've been able to use these days, and it has really transformed the way I do things. It's called Mana. It does very deep research. It can do a market research. It can write a report, and something that would have taken a human being like 1 month, it can produce it within less than 5 minutes, but well researched and with all correct references. So where we are going is really exciting. I currently use about 6 or 7 different AI tools, but they all have got different strengths and weaknesses. And if you combine a number of tools, basically you've got more power. So AI is not just something very, very simple. I'm glad you've been able to explain that one deeply and encourage all the younger people who are here. And especially people from the church. People think AI is very evil. It's the devil. It's that number. Some are saying it's that number in the Bible, 666, something like this. Yes,
Yeah.
my friends, We need to wake up and get into AI seriously. I've been buried into AI for the last, I think, 1 year, but I cannot explain what I've found basically because I'll need like 300 years to explain everything. So go and read those documents, invest a lot of time in AI. Trust me, you'll thank us later. Today's session could be one of the best sessions you have ever attended in your entire life if you take it seriously. Thanks so much.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. If you're a student here, if you actually most of us here are students. Thank you so much, Dr. Dan. For those who don't know Dr. Dan is an associate professor of Arian University. So he's a mentor and a father, and he always supports us from the background. Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting that. Guys, if you're here and you're only limited to ChatGPT in terms of AI, please wake up. Wake up, wake up. Thank you very much, Dr. Dan. Bernard, I saw Matov Bernard.
Yes, thank you so much, Steve, and Samuel for the I as something which is good, right? I think I'm audible, right?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I think
Yeah,
your network is a
Can you
bit
hear me?
your network is a bit interesting.
How is
I
it
don't
now?
know why. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Samuel, for the presentation. I this presentation was something which is light, which is actually like GT and all that. We had a discussion. Discussion was on AI is taking up people's jobs. So someone raised the hand and said, if we don't adapt or change with the change, it's when we shall lose our jobs. So meaning if it's AI generation, let's all of us from the other era, people who did history, adapt to the AI technology. Right now, we are working on developing an app. Sorry, guys, I'm a landscape designer and a landscape consultant. We are developing an app. In case we've come to your place, planted, let me say, vegetables, spinach and skuma and all that, or tomatoes. So we use our app to capture the information. So after, let me say, 1 week, this app can tell you you need to stake your tomatoes. Process by process, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to spray them, you need to water, you need now to harvest. So now my question comes in here. How can we use AI to capture the same information which the app actually could do? And the second question comes in here. For the small business entrepreneurs, how can they use this AI to actually do what we call you're one person. Remember, it's a startup. You're one person, and you have to control your finances. Meaning you'll need at least a software or an AI which can help you with the figures. And on that, you need an AI which can help you at least to do the marketing in case you've laid well your strategies. Is that very possible? Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Someone was actually even asking a question, how is it possible for AI to take over agriculture? Here we are. So please, guys, I would request us to give us, I know we are past time, but kindly give us a few minutes as we finalize in this Q&A. The conversation is interesting, so I request you to hold on a bit. Over to you.
All right. Thank you so much for that question. Now, whatever you've asked already is happening in Kenya. That already there are so many tools that are AI empowered. to control what is happening or what will be happening in agriculture. And for AI to give you the best output that you want it to give you is dependent on the data that you're going to give it. So it's about finding the exact data, and whatever you've asked now, you're collecting that information manually, or maybe using the app, but you need to record that information in a systematic way that you can use that information to train AI, and based on that, it is able to pick up patterns. And the larger the data sets, the better, because it's going to be more accurate. The larger the data set, it means it's going to narrow down chances of giving you a biased information, or an only information that's only dependent on a single data set collected from a single point or place. And with that one, I think my take is try to get as much information as possible based on whatever you're doing. And then with the app now, have a train an AI on the same thing, on the same information, the same data set that you have, that you've collected. And with that one, it means now it can able to predict or come up with better prediction, because it will pick up the pattern. And now you can use it now, that tool maybe to even use it in different areas, or maybe different household can use that tool to use it within their homestead or their farms. Another area in agriculture, and I hope I've answered that one. Another area in agriculture that AI is being used is picking up data sets in terms of weather patterns, and then train it so well that it can be able to predict what will happen maybe next month in terms of weather and weather changes or climate changes. So this one is going to give farmers a more informed decision on when to plant which crop, or sometimes how that crop need to be handled, especially when there is a sudden change of maybe climate or weather, for instance. And then sometimes we harvest, but you don't know maybe when the right time to take our harvest to the market. How can we preserve these products or purchases that we've just produced, so that we can keep them, sometimes say farm, or the right time to take them to the market when the demand is high, because it's always about supply and demand for business. And it is now going to move or shift our thinking from a substance sort of agriculture to a huge or a business-based agriculture. Because with these tools, it means now you can have smart ways of preserving them, because you understand what's happening. AI to based on the huge data set that has been trained on. You understand which crop to plant which season. You understand how to handle some certain crops, for example. And in a very good way, it's going to maybe as a nation, or maybe as Africa in large, to start now getting our food security where it's supposed to be. So those two areas, and if you can build from those angles, those are both solutions, and we are speaking. Yeah.
Wow, wow,
I hope
wow.
I've
Thank
answered.
you.
I hope I've answered well your question.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. You've really answered. I hope he's satisfied with the question. However, if he's not, and probably he will have to get in touch with you directly, and for further inquiries, if you don't mind. So,
Yes, I will
guys,
share. I
because
will
of time, we
share
are going
the.
to.
Sorry.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I was saying I will share the exact companies with the chat and see what they are doing. It's exactly the same thing. Yeah, we are having a discussion about.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for that. And just because of time, we're just going to have the one last question. The chat is quite burning, a lot of excitement and appreciation to you. And Dr. Dan, thank you so much for the insights that you have shared today. But there's one question here that is a bit intriguing that would want you to answer. Someone, I think, in the customer care industry says, what do you use to automate calls? That is one question. Then the other, I think the last one I would throw to you is that they use the things we saw in movies can now can one be able to analyze these attacks without being a cybersecurity analyst?
I think I didn't get the second question quite well.
The second question is, I think it's coming from Faith. She says that the things we saw in movies, can one be able to analyze these attacks? I think she's talking about cyber attacks without being
Yes,
a
yes.
cybersecurity analyst or expert.
Okay. A very interesting question. So let me start with the first question. How can automate call that is calls? Yes. So there are so many tools actually. Number one that we've used ourselves is Cloud Talk. You can use, it's called Cloud Talk. Let me type it in the chat. Cloud Talk. So you can use this tool when you want to automate calls. That means you want to give that to a script. Let me break it down. A script that, especially for an inbound call, I think now they understand it better. For an inbound call, someone is calling you, and when they call, this tool can pick up that call and go with the script that you've trained it. We are doing an outbound campaign for sales. And this is where I learned how to train this tool based on a script that you can give it hundreds of numbers and it will make call each simultaneously. You can maybe handle 3 calls at the same time simultaneously and pitching the same idea, because basically a sales call with the script that you've given it, ask questions and take answers or responses. So you can use it, that one. You can also use another one called Zentech. Let me, yes, called Zentech. Let me confirm the spellings. So I may not give it the right. Yeah. It's called Zentech. Yes. So you can use it. You can use another one called Zentech, for example. That is, you can do basically the same thing as what CloudTalk is doing, and there are a number of them. And the only difference sometimes may be some tools. For example, Zentech can be more customized when it comes to handling inbound calls, and then CloudTalk can be more customized when handling outbound calls. And there are a number of other tools. But once you go and search CloudTalk, you'll get to see what other tools are available that you can use to automate calls and automate your inbound and outbound calls. Or you can even create your own automation tools because they have also created them using AI. So there's another tool. There's a tool that is called N8N, can automate that whole process. Let me just type it here. But from Zentech, let me just N8N is an automation tool. You can use it. It can handle all that for you. That is automating calls, giving it scripts, and ask it to kind of speak out or give it as a voice text. And then the second question was based on what we see in the movies, can we able to maybe try to identify attacks or things like that? My honest answer is no, because if you want to catch a thief, you have to behave like a thief. Those guys, you see them there, the gurus there. They are so smart in such a way that they understand how to navigate in a computer. They can give you a malicious code, and they can make you click on a link that you didn't know. They can make you reset a password of your own accounts. They can make you give them your own data. That means that is someone who is really smart. So for you to be able to think like them, how to understand which tools they're using and why they're using them. So you have to go through and understand how cybersecurity works. Things like networking, for example. How does it work? How do computers communicate with each other? Why is there a domain name and behind the scene is an IP address? Why will someone call you, or maybe in an organization, why will an organization block the whole employees from watching YouTube? How does that happen? So with that understanding, you understand how the networking works, and that's how you understand how someone can penetrate into your laptop and try to hack your system. So if you don't have that knowledge of how networking works, how computers communicate, how are you going to try to analyze an attack to counterattack an attack that has been made? So the honest answer is you don't really have to go deep for you to be able to identify, but have some basic knowledge of how these things happen, how these things communicate, and things like that. So that when things like that happen, you're able to identify, hey, I think this is an attack. And you can able to alert maybe supervisors or whoever is in charge of that area. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel, for that. We appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a wonderful conversation, and it's going to continue. And this is not the very last time we are talking about AI. This is just the beginning. What stood out for me here is Mr. Samuel says that we have to unlearn, we have to unlearn, we have to unlearn and relearn. Very, very important. But also, Dr. Dana came in and spoiled it and say that if you're here and you think that AI is Chat GPT, please wake up. This is a wake up call for all of us. Please, let's wake up. Let's invest in AI. And this is not basically limited to only you going to school and studying AI, which is very important. But if you're not able at the very time, very, very moment, this very time, please utilize online. They have given us all the tools that we need. Just identify the tool that you need based on the need at the moment. You cannot study all of them at once, but you can start studying them one by one, depending on where you are in. If you're in agriculture, please search out for agriculture AI tools. If you're into customer care, please get in there. If you're into management, just look out for those AI tools that will help you in management. Otherwise, you'll not be able to learn all to get to learn all the things at a core. It's a journey that you begin. And Angel says that at a personal level, any tools that you can advise, any tools you can advise one to apply to support handling their personal chats from different platforms like socials, mails, by handling, I mean, managing personal chats all together to support responding on time from all socials linked. Looking at tools that virtual assistants can rely on to handle their personal work as they are handling their bigger work. Is it possible to scrap or pull data from AI platform like ChatGPT, since it's been here since this is the second time this question is surfacing, and I don't know whether if I can give time because we have run short of time. I don't know whether I can give um, you to respond to these particular two questions, but also someone was asking about can you use AI to aid in music production, which I think it's very possible, but maybe she doesn't have um, that. But Dr. Dan says YouTube is the best university. I learned so much about AI from YouTube. National AI strategy documents and in UNESCO's documents on AI. Yeah, YouTube is also very important. You can utilize it other than you if you don't have opportunity to go to school. I think someone was asking that on my inbox. But ladies and gentlemen, let's just allow Mr. Samuel just to respond to this question from Angel, regarding the managing of all her socials and phone and all that. Then the last one, someone say that, is it possible to scrap or pull data from AI platforms like ChatGPT since it's been here since 2022? Just in 1 minute, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the first one is about the tools that can used, for example, to manage all social media, call it platforms. So I wanted to even to understand it much better. When you talk about socials and mails, does it mean only for the work? What I mean is platform that is Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter for work, and then mails. Yes, I that's something I have done because I wanted to separate between social and mail. So when you want to respond in terms of mail, there's no a specific tool that has been developed to handle that, but you can create, customize, and that is where the tool that I shared, call it N8N. It's an automation tool. This is how we have used it. That all emails that we get from info@macdosis.com, we normally know that they're coming as service inquiry emails. And so we have automated the responses based on whatever or the context of that email. So we'll find someone come asking for A, B, C, and D. For example, we want system development service, for example. So we know what you're going to respond. And so you can do the same thing. You can automate, if it's, for example, from a work perspective, you can automate what you usually expect will be asked by your clients from that email. If it is service inquiry, then you know how to respond. So you can automate the same thing so that every time an email comes in your inbox regarding or asking that thing, then you don't need to go and respond it manually. There's an AI behind the scene that is working for you. And even if when you're offline, it's still going to work. And that is the beauty thing of it. And when you come online, you just get sort of a notification that, hey, someone asked ABCD, this is how we respond them. They responded back and we ended up maybe booking a schedule. So next week, we'll be having this and this meeting, things like that. On social media, on socials, the only tool that you can use to manage different platforms is Buffer. I think I had shared that one, Buffer, so that you can respond to these platforms via Buffer. You don't have to go to, for example, LinkedIn to see what is happening. Because if you have access to LinkedIn, it means everything that comes from LinkedIn, you're able to get notification in that platform called Buffer. So you can respond to it there. But sometimes it goes beyond that. You may need to have like a real analysis of what is happening, specific, because it only give you only that maybe someone has maybe commented something, maybe just respond on that. But I will always prefer if we use them as automating the posting and the scheduling and social media creation, so that you can go and see who is reacting and engaging on your platforms, and try maybe now to seek to respond to them. But now if it gets to be like so huge in terms of information, we can still automate the same thing using the other tool, that is N8N. It's a very powerful tool when it comes to automation. And of course, there are a number of them. You can automate responses based on how you've been responding to them previously. So if you've received like a number of questions and responding to them, don't lose that data. You can use that data now to train this tool be responding to them, so that they know if someone comments on this on our platform, this is how you're going to respond. And it will always act as if it is you doing it, but behind the scene, the tool that is handling that. And then the second question was if can able to scrape data or pull data from AI platform like ChatGPT, since it has been here since 2022. So you can't really be able to scrape data, but you can able to get a summarized information. And the reason is because even ChatGPT itself, it used whatever information was available in Google or at Google or in the browser to train its model. And that's why sometimes it may give you sources of where that information came from. And when you follow back, you realize it's a website that was written maybe 2018 or thing like that. And so the ChatGPT itself, it went and researched for that information and then came and give you a feedback. The power it has is that it can research like 10, even 100 sites concurrently at a very high speed and give you a feedback within a very short period of time that you have to spend maybe hours to do that. So if you want to really scrape data, I will always prefer just go browser and search, for example, whatever you want to search. There are so many ways that you can search in Google to get exact what you wanted to get, and then scrape that data and use it for whatever you want to do. If maybe for marketing or whatever, you can do that. But AI itself, it's like now going to be a double work. You ask it, it also has to go to browser, get whatever you want to get, and then give it to you. Yeah. So that is my my.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the close of this session tonight. It has been a long session. I know we have gone beyond time by 30 minutes. Our sincere apologies, but the conversation was very, very interactive and very, very insightful. And this is not going to be the last time that Mr. Samuel is coming to share with us. We will organize a problem masterclass on some of the tools that are very relevant in the workplaces. So we'll be able to come in. It will come in and train us at maybe later this year or early next year. So let's be expectant for that. Otherwise, Mr. Samuel, thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much for your insightful discussion, and to the rest of the team. Our next session is going to be on 6th, if I'm not mistaken. So please, on 8th rather of next month, that will be our next session for Career Talk. So be expectant. We'll have a very wonderful conversation with our guest speakers that very day. We have a WhatsApp platform. If you'd like to be a part of it, our team is going to share the link on the chat box. Please join in, and you'll be able to always share the opportunities of interaction like this and many others also outside our scope as well. So please be part of that career network. Maybe some of the activities that Mr. Samuel is doing in Kenya, we'll be able to share them there, and you'll be able to follow up with him from that side and learn more about AI. Otherwise, I wish you the best. Have a beautiful night. See you.
Thank you. Have a good night too.